Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is well today. Today is December the 10th of 2019. And today I would like to talk a little bit about Joshua 7, Achan's sin. We're going to talk about Achan's sin. We need to get ourselves together. Jesus is going to return soon, and so we really need to be working things out. There's too many things that's going unnoticed, and so I'm going to keep at it until I can get someone to listen. So in Joshua 7, God had given instructions to the Israelites before the destruction of Jericho, saying that everything in Jericho is an accursed thing. And God therefore commanded that everything be destroyed. God wanted to keep Israel from becoming accursed because that camp contained Canaanite spoils. Well, during the destruction of Jericho, there was a fellow named Achan. And Achan decided to help himself to some of the spoils. And he took a Babylonian garment, and he took a wedge of gold and 200 shekels from the spoils, 200 shekels of silver. You see, Achan had taken of the accursed thing, quote unquote, the accursed thing. And what Achan did was he hid them in his tent within the camp. And by doing this, it is said that Achan unintentionally caused the Israelites to be defeated at Ai. For the children of Israel had committed trespass and were no longer able to stand against their enemies. That's the very crucial part of this. They were no longer able to stand against the enemy. Once Achan took of that spoil, the accursed thing, which they were told not to do, then the enemy was able to prevail over them. And God said that he would not be with them anymore until they had destroyed the quote unquote accursed thing from among them. So God made everybody sanctify themselves to be brought forth by tribes. And this was done until they got to the household of Achan. And at that time, Achan was exposed, and he was told to confess. And he did confess. He told them all that he did. Now, God was fiercely angered. And the saddest thing, the penalty of Achan, or also called Achor, the penalty of Achan's sin ended with he and his family and all that he owned being stoned to death and burned. The penalty of the sins. And so we don't really understand how blessed we are in these days that we don't have to, as of yet, go through the things that they went through back there in the biblical days. But I think that we're about headed in the same way probably now because of the fact that Jesus is about to return. And because Jesus is about to return, the church has to be made ready. And the saddest thing about it all is, if we are not prepared, if we do not purge our camps, if we don't find out exactly what's going on in our camps, leaders, if you do not stop what you're doing and check your camp, when the enemies come up on us, they will prevail because we are not prepared. We have done everything that God has told us not to do. There's things that's going to keep us from being saved, from being protected from the enemy. The enemy will have his way. So now, I hope this word has fallen on the best of ears, all ears, but surely leaders. This is a prophetic morning, I believe. You better check your camp. You're going to have to stop being so busy and check your camp. You're going to have to narrow it down, check your camp. And having said that, I want to read Psalms 51, 1 through 7, which says, "Have mercy upon me, O God, according to thy loving kindness, according unto the multitude of thy tender mercies. Blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgression, and my sin is ever before me. Against thee and thee only have I sinned, and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judgest. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in a sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in thy inward parts, and in the hidden part thou shalt make me to know wisdom." And 7 says, "Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow."